So, Sunday again, and this week I have the pleasure to welcome viewers from YouTube, but also from X, which is really pleasant to see. I just recently started to pay attention to the X account, and already, this is actually insane. Already, I have the same amount or even more impressions on X that I have on YouTube now, and I've been on YouTube for it's gonna be the 4th year. And on X, I only been there for 4 months. It's insane. So, welcome to a new Sunday. I'm Dan. This is Simple Life Portugal. You find my content on X and YouTube, and the core of the channel is upcycle, recycle, repurpose, reuse wood and other materials. Basically, I just like to showcase that there's possibilities to do things with discarded wood or things destined for the burn pile. Just have to get some imagination going and just get going. So if you have interest in crafting or woodworking or just general, shall we say invention with working with wood and finding new outlets for old and discarded wood, I think you found the right channel. Anyhow, this week I've been pretty busy actually. Not only had I need to do the homesteading things and so forth, but I was in dire need of upgrading my amenities here around. Because as you see here, this shelter structure recently just finished, and just to get shade from the sun, because I'm in the North Portugal, and in the summer it just gets too hot to be outside, and this is the first year I actually have this is my 3rd year on the land, and this is the first year I have some place that's flat and has shade. So from here it's just upwards, which is great. And the first process of that is to get yourself in order, right? And up to now, I just been roughing it out basically. You know how it gets. I had one extension cord, and you have to pull and plug all the same machines. Say that I do something with sanding, and I usually use 3 sanders at the same time, depending on where to sand and so forth. But every time I needed to change, I needed to unplug the plug and plug it in again, which just creates a freaking medusa of cables in the end. So I just have to forego a bit of woodworking to make myself a bit more comfortable. And this week, I did this, which is the old wood chest that was outside of the house. And this time around, I actually took fairly many pictures doing it. I didn't film anything, but I took pictures. So I will, going forward, I will start to try to implement this process and add it to the X account, because it's just so much easier to reach out to people and structure your text with image content on X versus YouTube. It's just so clunky on YouTube. It's not worth it either. It's nobody really follow ups on comments and stuff on YouTube. So going forward, if you want to see more than the video content, I suggest that you head over to X, Simple Life _PT, to see a bit more. I write text format there about using linseed soils and beeswax and all these stuff, and I also now try to portray a bit more the process of transforming this from an old wooden box into what it is now, a tool storage, or essential storage for my day-to-day usage tools, I would say. And I'm sure it's going to change a bit on the wall itself with tools that I use on a daily basis. But for now, this is the tools I kind of use more often than not. Basically. So if you want to see the process, I'm going to try after I uploaded this video, and I'm going to add it to, of course, to the to the timeline on X. So if you want to see the process from start to finish, I'm gonna post it there. But while we're here, let's talk about wood, because this box had been in a old house barn for a long time, so it was affected by critter damage, shall we say. And then I I thought I was gonna fix it, so I took it out from the barn and I placed it outside, and then I kind of just got caught in other projects, and then it's been standing outside for over a year, which really didn't make good for it. Although it really didn't impact the wood's longevity that much, because it was already really damaged. And this is, I will show you the difference between this. Here was the bottom of the wooden chest, and as you can see, it's infested with critters and termites and ants and whatnot has been eating, and they just, or other burrow critters, they just find themselves in, and then what they do, they just walk themselves through the plank, and then everything just, it looks kind of solid, but you know, it's this is wood eaten by critters, while this is wood subject to dry rot. And dry rot is, well, dry rot, you can probably find different words for it, but basically it's when the weather cycles through a piece of wood many times, sun and rain and weather and water and whatever, what happens, it swells up, and all the oils and the goodness in the wood kind of just drifts away and gets replaced by other grime and whatnot from the rain and soaking up from the wood. And when it dries again, that thing that's were replaced by the oils it doesn't really add anything to the wood. It just make it more brittle. But still, this wood is quite, you can break it, but it still has some structure to it, comparison to a wood that's completely eaten by critters. There's no structure to it. It looks more durable, but and this wood is hard to save, depending on what you can do, like probably display pieces and stuff like that, but structure wise there's no much left to it. So papier mâché has more integrity than this stuff. However, the wood that's gone from dry rot, this you can actually save to a decent level where you can actually apply screws to it and use it as proper material. However, the process, it's varied between people. Some people like to use it's more of a plastic thing. You can inject kind of like a plastic epoxy into the wood to stabilize it. However, I like to, this is the time I use varnish actually. I mix varnish with just the solvent, and heavily on the solvent, so maybe a 70-30 mix in the beginning, and then I just start dabbing the wood with that mixture of varnish and diluent or whatever it's mixed out with, and then it slowly soaks up, and the varnish remain in the wood while the diluent or whatever you mix it with gonna vaporize, and then just leaving the varnish inside of the wood, stabilizing it a bit, and then you just mix down from 70-30 to 60-40, 50-50, and then you just go down and until it stops, until you see the wood is getting a bit more stabilized. And this process takes time. It's nothing that's happening overnight. You need to do it, like if you're committed and really need to restore something, it's a way you can do it. But as I always say, do your own research. It's also depending a bit on the woods, but generally speaking, you can use a mixture of varnish and diluent to start stabilizing the wood, just for it to stop, like, like this. also, and that's this process I have not done on this shelf. First, I had to cut it down quite a lot to get rid of all this material, and it was most of the material that was, well, first and most, the whole bottom was eaten up like that, so the whole bottom piece was a no-go. And then the skirting, like the bottom part of the box, was also falling apart. So I would say it's maybe a third left of the box that I could do something with it. So it turned into just a shelving with storage. And this is the metal in the back. It's also upcycled. It's from my old, from the backside of the woodshed door, which I haven't shown most of you guys, but behind the camera it's a woodshed, a hobbit-like woodshed actually, with the grass roof and whatnot. So the backside of that door, this is the metal from that one. This is repurposed, right? And then I just took these like curtain style hangers are just cherry wood. I carved a bit, drilled a hole, put a broomstick, and all this is what this is treated with is betum, which is basically just a mixture of linseed oil and chalk. You can mix, if you want to do your own, you can actually mix linseed oil with flour or gypsum. Kind of makes the same mixture in the end. But the most important part, I think, with betum is that it's all natural, like with the linseed base. And this is a really good product to use. And then you have to kind of work it in with your hands. And since it's linseed based, it's also hydrating the wood when you're working it in. And so that was just the first coat with linseed to kind of fill up the bigger cracks and kind of stabilizing the, like as I said, all these holes. Because these sides are almost as bad as this, just full of holes. And I just tried to push as much of that in there to stabilize it a bit. But what really makes the magic is when you coat it with beeswax, because that's just wax. Again, it's just creates this sealed surface and penetrates into the wood a bit, and it's not stabilizing it, but it just adding that coating on the surface, which makes it not retaining any more moisture really. So, and this is just one layer of beeswax, and since this is super dry, I can probably add another layer of beeswax. I can feel it already. It's starting to dry out in some places, so I can probably tomorrow or later today just add a bit more of beeswax on it to make this perfect coating. But yeah, and that's what I managed to make from that wooden box. And as I said, everything is upcycled, recycled, and repurposed, and just giving new life to it. And the whole idea of maybe this workshop as well is just, as you can see, all this is branches from when I limbed trees and so forth. So I'm gonna try to keep this workshop more old style, repurposed wood, and just build as I go along. So if you want to follow along this journey to see this workspace transform into a workshop, I'm happy for you to tag along. And also, this week I made this. It's just a pinboard I had laying around that I don't use anymore. But I have a friend that has an hotel in kind of this rough style with stone houses and big timbers and dark woods and stuff like that, fireplaces, and in this hotel they also have a bar, and the bar needed kind of like a special sign, or drink of the day or whatnot. So I made this for him, and I'm gonna deliver it in the end of this week. And today it's Sunday. In the end of today, I just kept it around to show you guys. But all this is made from dry rot, small pieces. As you can see, they're just small pieces stapled together again with the needle gun. Needle gun is amazing. You can do a lot of small art projects with the needle gun, and it's, as I said before, it's fairly affordable to what you can do with it. So it's just one example. Sorry, it's just one example what you can actually do with discarded wood. And after all, this costed me nothing. Well, the pinboard, we probably bought it like 6 years ago, but it's what, $10 $10 item maximum, and now it's kind of just looking like a nicer piece. And also, since it's gonna be in a bar, I had added it's like an RGB strip that I had laying around just to back or side light whatever is gonna be displayed on here. So anyhow, this is gonna come up, be hanged up in the bar, just to display stuff from the bar, I guess. So yeah, that's, I mean, what I try to say here really, I think, is there's always a purpose for old wood to be used. It doesn't have to be thrown in the fire, although it's a good thing when you have to get warmth from your house. But most of the times you can do a lot of things with just discarded wood, or things that you think you can't do it with. Like all my, you can't see it now, but maybe I can do a picture in picture. But the bottom of all my skirting to just retain the wall here, because this is just what you see here is just all those old bags, 1 cubic meter bags you get sand and stones in, and this is just to retain the hill a bit. But like the skirting in the bottom is all these like discarded. It's not even, when you cut into it, it's not even bad. 1 second, I'll show you. Hold on. I'm back. Like this looks like a complete piece of bad timber, but when you cut it open, you know, it's not bad at all. It's just the very, very end of it that's bad. Of course, it's not 100%, and you can't, I mean, it's not a big piece, but all these pieces somewhere has a purpose. If it's in the fireplace or just, as I said, adding a skirting, it's yeah, just find a purpose for it. And I think that's starting to be it. Yeah, coffee is ending. It's a good thing I have coffee, otherwise I could talk all day about wood. But yeah, all in all, if you wanna learn something, I think, and this is only episode 9 so far in the new revamp of the channel, but the idea here is that I'm gonna try to share my what I would think like basic information about woodworking and different woods and how to get started. So as I said, this is only episode 9, so I think I'm just trying to find my footing here a bit in the beginning, and we're gonna get a bit more organized as I go further along. So please stick around and leave a comment down there what you wanna see, or what you wanna learn about woodworking maybe, or what you think I should build. For instance, I already got a suggestion, because I still have around a wheelbarrow left of these dry woods. I'm thinking somebody suggested I should build a birdhouse, and I think that's exactly what I'm gonna do. But it's gonna be more of a Tim Burton birdhouse style. So it's gonna be very, shall we say, weird. So stick around for that one. It's gonna be a doozy. Let's see. Yeah, that's it from me this week. So thank you for watching, and hope to see you next week. Ciao, ciao, bye.
Started out in the hands of a tired old man, laid his life down, paying hand through dirt and grime, seen better days over and over. Started the morning in a worn out palm, over and over I keep rolling